you I have known since you were itty bitty little seventh graders. Some of you I am gonna meet for the first time tonight. And I just have to say, welcome. We are so glad you are here as we kick off WOW. Some of you have been in the habit of being here every Wednesday since you were in seventh grade or started freshman year. Some of you, this is your first time. Some of you, you've been here, you've been there. Maybe you got involved during a mission trip this summer. Either way, I can promise you, I can assure you, really, that you belong here. WOW is the place where we all show up on a Wednesday night to worship passionately. Good job, we just did that. And live in community. Community is kind of a fancy Christian word where you're like, I live in a community, what does that mean? When I say live in community, I mean that when we end the sermon and we send you to something we call life group, some of you will be joining a life group tonight, that we hope that those friendships are more than your normal friendships. That those friendships are people who better you. That those friendships are people who cheer you on. That those friendships, you might not like this part, but are people that will call you out when you need to hear it. We hope that your life groups are a place where we have holy community. That means we want you to find friendships, find community with people who are going to push you to look more like Jesus. That's what we're about here. And if you're not sure about this faith thing yet, you're not sure about the Jesus thing yet, that's fine too. We're just glad you're here. And I'm going to do the best I can. Sean's going to do the best he can. Your leaders are going to do the best that they can to love you well, okay? Now, like I said, I've known a lot of you for a while. I've just kind of been here a while now, okay? Like, I started working here. This is going to be my 8th school year. Yeah. Wow. It's normally not this nice. This is so exciting. 8 school years means a lot of things, especially being in the Dallas area. 8th school year means the 8th time I am seeing a Jesuit-Highland Park rivalry. 8th school year means it is my 8th time this Friday to eat cold spaghetti in support of the Bells, okay? 8th school year, there's a lot of repeats, but it's gonna be a holy year, but I thought it was only fair to show you, as you're getting to know me, my first summer at HPMC Youth. Let me paint a picture, close your eyes. Shh, it's 2015. Chelsea Petticourt just graduated from the best school in Oklahoma, Oklahoma State University, go Pokes. Believe it or not, she is 20 years old. She graduated a year early, and she is a summer birthday. She does not really know what on earth she is doing. And she gets a job at Highland Park United Methodist Church as basically an intern. And she gets to go to Costa Rica 3 weeks in. Open your eyes. Look at this young girl. She hadn't yet been to a spaghetti supper and been disappointed by the spaghetti. She had not yet been very intimidating watching students yell in the parking lot at a Jesuit HP game. She didn't know a lot, but she thought she knew it all. What's also funny about this photo is some of your leaders are in it. Jill, where's Jill and Suzanne? Suzanne, y'all, they lead sophomore girls. Suzanne's there in the pink. Jill is there on the white in the corner. Spencer Lewis, he leads some sophomore guys. Spencer, I don't know where you are in this photo. Maybe you were in the bathroom or something. There's a few other leaders who serve with Sunday, but I just thought that was really cool to show you who I am, how I started here, and maybe point out to you that at this time when I knew nothing, I often thought I knew everything. I get to be a supervisor, a boss now, which is sometimes fun, sometimes awful. And I've supervised a lot of people over the years. Some of you I've supervised when you've done internships with us. I supervise our team. And what I have learned as I've become the boss, because all of us typically want to be the boss, is if I was the boss of me, it would actually be horrible, okay? I am not an easy person to supervise, I've learned. Because I look back at 2015 Chelsea, and 2015 Chelsea thought she could do everything better than everyone else around her. Now, you must think, she still kind of is like that, but I try not to be, okay? But you're like this too, okay? How many of your coaches set a lineup today, and you were like, I could do this better? How many of your coaches called a play this week, and you were like, that's the wrong play, we should do this instead? How many of you this week, it's week 2 for school for some of you, week 1, and you're already thinking to yourself, this teacher doesn't teach. I'm going to have to teach myself. I'm going to have to do their job for them. How many of you, club positions started happening this week, and you thought they got president? I would be 1,000 times better than them. Yeah, some of you are whispering because we tend to do this. We tend to pump ourselves up. We tend to look at other people when they're doing things, and we think to ourselves, I could do this better. See, as we're getting ready to start our series, Terms and Conditions, it was actually pretty easy to put together this series. Sean and I thought, what do we really want to start the school year? Some of you don't know us well. You're still kind of figuring out, is WOW something I really want to be involved in? Is it too much? Is it, enough? We were writing terms and conditions. How many of you got the notification today for the new iOS update? Yeah. I'm not going to do it until it forces me to. But when I do accept the update, what's it going to show? Terms and conditions. Am I going to read it? Are any of you going to read it? If you said yes, you're lying, and you're lying in church, and we'll talk about it after. Here's my point. Monday night, I had some seniors over here for dinner. We're talking through some things. I'm hearing their thoughts on the year. They're giving me ideas, things they want to do. I will note that they said they were going to bring their Bibles and journals. Pretty good, 50%. Chase, I'll see you next week. I asked the seniors, this is your senior class. This is who you are going to look up to in this ministry, okay? I asked the seniors, what does the Lord require of you? And here's what they said. The first answer was nothing. That's wrong. The second answer was love people, I guess. That might have been Charlotte Williams. The third response was serve others. Now let me tell you, friends, you might look at this and think, they look right to me. But I will tell you, you didn't read the terms and conditions. Because in the Old Testament, there's a little bitty book called the Book of Micah. And in the Old Testament, there is a verse that spells this out. He has shown you, oh mortal. He has shown you, oh Chase Beeson, who forgot his journal and Bible. He has shown you, C.C. Tinch. Oh, he has shown you what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? Shh, this is important. To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. We're going to talk about all three of these. These are the terms and conditions. This is what people keep skipping. This is why when the world looks around, they say Christians, they're judgmental, they're hypocrites, or they're just too in your face, they're too about the rule. I really believe that I think because so many of us have skipped this verse, people think those things about us. And so to start off this first week of WOW, as you and I are thinking, what is this year going to be about? Is this the year you make starter? Is this the year you make the team you've been wanting to make? Is this the year you get that club position? Is this the year where you finally get the ACT score? Is this the year you get into the dream school? Is this the year you get a girlfriend or boyfriend? Is this the year you get a new friend group? Well, you are thinking all of that. What if the answer of what this year actually should be is in this verse? What if what you think about of who you should be and who God is calling you to be is all in this verse, and it all starts with walking humbly? The story we're going to look at today, it's actually a very long story, but we're just going to do a little piece of it. And it's a popular one. If you maybe went to Cornerstone with your family over the summer, you heard it for a few weeks. And it's a story with someone who did not have great humility, was not walking humbly with God, okay? This is a story of a guy named Joseph. So don't be confused. This is not Joseph in the New Testament. That's the second half of the Bible. That's Jesus' dad. This is not who we're talking about. It's a very common name. I don't even know how many, Chases and how many two name Marianne's. Y'all have common names, okay? Chase Beeson, I don't know. You're just right in front of me today. You did it to yourself. This is Joseph in the Old Testament. And Joseph has 11 other brothers. There's 12 of them. And he is by far his parents' favorite. How many of you are your parents' favorite? That's bold to raise your hand. How many of you are not your parents' favorite? Tyler, you're not? I'm sorry, man. Hey. Actually, I was going to go, you're my favorite Baggerly, but you're not because I'm friends with your wife. So, yikes. Shh. Hold on, I'm still telling you the story. So Joseph, he's also the youngest of all of his brothers. And Joseph has a dream. You can already imagine his brothers don't like him too much. He has this dream where he tells them, hey, you're going to bow down to me one day. Hey, one day I'm going to be powerful and God is going to use me. And all of you're going to bow down to me one day. So you can imagine this does not go over well. They're annoyed. They're frustrated. They don't want to hear that. And then you think he would learn. Sometimes we get excited when good things happen to us. Sometimes you find out, I got a 30 on the ACT. You go tell your friends, and then one of your friends starts crying because they got like a 19, and you're like, my bad. Joseph doesn't do that. He decides to do this again to his brothers. Let's read here in Genesis 37. Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers, listen, I had another dream. And this time the sun and moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me. When he told his father as well as his brothers, his father rebuked him and said, what is this dream you had? Are you saying now your mother and I and your brothers are actually going to come and bow down to the ground before you, like you're the kid? Understandably, his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. I'm going to translate this for you. Do we have a varsity football player? Do we have a few of you? Okay. Basso, Brady, who else? Can y'all come stand here, please? Thank you. Do we have a freshman? Do we have a freshman football player? Yes, I need one of you. All right, whoever can. Oh, Stuart's coming. Great. Everyone give it up for Stuart. Okay. All right, have y'all met Stuart? Yes. Oh, yeah, he like me. Oh, no, that's not true. Well, this, okay, could you open this and could you read this to them both? Read it loud, please. I want us to be in the story and see it in our own language.
I am a better football player than you. I'm going to play over you. Ha, ha, ha.
What would you do if that was real? How would you respond?
I'd laugh. I don't know.
Yeah, would you ever take him seriously? No.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. Thank you. You're good. You're good. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, everyone, for our great biblical translation moment. It is really easy to be like Joseph when you know you're good at something and your coach doesn't notice. When you know you're the better student, but your teacher still has favorites who are like the students who sit in the back and don't do anything, but like maybe they're more popular and the teacher has one of those weird dynamics where they talk to them more. You know what I'm talking about, okay? It is really easy when you care about something to look around and go, look at how good I am, or when is it my turn? When do I get to shine? And Joseph is having this moment where, of course, he wanted to shine. He's the youngest brother. No one pays attention to him. But he is so set on getting in his brothers' faces, getting in front of his family, and saying, look, not only what I can do, but look what I am going to do. And everyone gets mad at him. It is really dangerous when you are in that state of mind of when is it my turn? This coach is terrible. They don't know what they're doing. When are they going to let me play? That person playing over me, they're the worst. When's my turn? They got the part over me. They can't even sing. They can't even act. What do you mean they got a better grade than me on that essay? It's because the teacher likes them more. When you get to that point where you're ready to show off, where your pride is hurt, where you know people maybe are getting things that you think you deserve, that is a really dangerous place to be. Because think about it, you know how it works. Oh, my friends prefer that person? I'm going to talk bad about my friends now. I'm going to find a new friend group. Really, my crush likes that person? And then you tell everyone how awful and unattractive that person is? Or then you make fun of them and are like, well, they're just going to screw them over anyway. You start acting out because your parents don't notice you, so maybe you'll go find people who do. When our pride is hurt, Whether it is about a sport, whether it is about your grades, whether it is about your friend group, whether it is at home, we can get really mean and really bitter really fast. And here's what makes it more dangerous when we think about that Micah 6:8, about walking humbly with God. Wanting people to see how good you are and just how worthy you are of their attention is not walking humbly with God. Wanting to show off is not walking humbly with God. Being bitter at everyone else who is getting what you think you deserve is not walking humbly with God. It's walking alone by yourself. And this year, as you are setting your goals, as you are thinking, it's 9th grade, I am in high school now, I'm going to find a friend group. I'm going to make sure that my friends either stay the exact same as they were, or I'm going to find a new group, or I'm going to go to my first party, or whatever it is. What if you weren't wired to make it about you? What if this year isn't about you, 9th graders? What if this year is about making God known? You 10th graders, no one knows what to do with 10th grade, right? But I know what to do with 10th grade, okay? It's 10th grade. And you're just waiting to get your license. And it is so easy to be consumed on, when do I get my license? What car am I going to get? My friend group was kind of weird in freshman year. Now I think it's good, but I still don't know. What if sophomore year is not about that? What if sophomore year is about making God known? Juniors, you're all ready to be super fixated on your GPA and the academics. And if I can just show people that I am worthy and I'm smart and I can do this and that and I can balance a job and extracurricular and all of these things, like that's my goal for this year. What if your year's not about that? What if your year's about making God known? For my seniors in the room, the world has told you again and again that this year is all about you. What school are you going into? You're top of the food chain at school. This is your year. Go to the coolest parties. Get the best college acceptance letter. Get the best scholarship. I don't know if scholarships are cool, but what if your year is not supposed to be about that? Those things aren't, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're horrible. But what if your focus this year is not how can I impress people by the school I get into? How can I impress people by the parties I'm at? How can I impress people by the positions I hold? What if instead it's this year is to make God known? Because all of those things y'all want, everyone in this room, if you want them for yourself, you're walking alone. If you want them to make God known, to make God glorified, that's how you know you are walking humbly with God. It's one thing to say, look at my ACT score. This is crazy. I'm so excited. Can you believe it? Like, I got this. Can you believe what they got? That's one way to say it. But walking humbly with God is, I am so proud of this, like, glory be to God because I worked hard. I know God has blessed me. God gave me the opportunities to do something like this. It is one thing to brag about your friend group, to know that you're in a better friend group than someone else. What does that even mean? It's another to say, these friends are a blessing from God. I get it. When you are changing your mindset to this, it almost feels like this doesn't feel genuine. This almost feels awkward. Because it is awkward. Because the world has literally told you it is all about you all the time. And if you talk about God too much in your accomplishments, then you're weird. But walking humbly with God means that you are willing to let God be known in your high points, in your celebrations, more so than telling people how great you are. What is your goal this year? Some of you, it is the friend thing. Some of it's something with dating. Some of you, it's college. What is your goal this year? Because if this year, if you're really willing to make it about God, then maybe that goal needs to change. Because we're going to be people who walk humbly with God. Because it is required. When I look back at little Chelsea, 2015, who just wanted everyone to be like, let me preach, I'm so good. I want my idea to be chosen, my idea is better than everyone else's. Guys, that pride, it was pride, yes, but underneath the things we're most prideful about, we're actually really insecure. I just wanted to preach more, not because I wanted to make God known. I wanted to preach more so that I could prove to people that I should be in that position. I didn't always want my idea to win because I actually thought my idea was better. I just wanted to prove to people that I deserved to be a pastor. I don't know what the pride thing is for you. I don't know what the insecurity thing is for you. But like I said, WOW is about having good community. So I pray in your life groups tonight, you can talk about it. And you're open with your life groups because that is a humble thing to do. That is humility. We serve a good God, and as the band comes back up, we are going to sing about just how good God is. Because that's what we're about here. Let us be people who walk humbly with God because we know it's required. Y'all pray with me.